Welcome back to this channel here. Let's do some troubleshooting in Azure. So we have two VMs. We have two domain controllers, and we can't connect to one. So I started them back up on my previous video. We have a rule. We have automation where it turns off every night, and for whatever reason, if you have that automation, of course, you got to make sure that the automation is is specifically, for users that don't use it at night, right? Because if it's a VM, if it's a domain controller, or if it's anything that runs 24 hours, you're not going to do the automation to turn off. The whole purpose of turn off is to save money, right? The compute charges that Azure does. So it charges even if you're not using it, the resources. So in this video, I'm not going to get sidetracked, but in this video, so we turned them back on that outside window, and I was able to connect to DC2, but I can't connect to my proxy. And let's go back here, and this is going to be I'm going to troubleshoot, and then towards the end, I'll get the the root cause, and then we'll share it here. So let's go ahead and try to fire it on. It's connected, and it has all the resources on. I can ping it. I can log in through it. I can't ping it. I'm sorry, but I can log in through it. But it's showing on. So let's go see what's going on. We have a public IP and a private, and there's no IP. No, not a private. I allocated there was an associate IP to it, but I removed it. So let's see if we can remote to it. I've been trying. I already know the issue, but I know some other people run into this. This is not my first time running into this, because a lot of the times. So your first step is to let's go look at the ports. Let's go look at the RDP port at the NSGs and at the network level now. So let's do some troubleshooting. So in Azure, the admin is a network guy, server guy, system guy. So there's a lot of roles. So let's go into the network port. Let's go see the rules. That's the first thing. The first thing in your list is to see the rules. You know you got an IP, right? So let's go ahead and go down to inbound rules. No, where am I going? Okay, it took me one step further. I don't need to go one step further. This is now you're dealing with the actual NIC. So let's go back in here. By the way, this look I don't like. This is the look I like right here. Network settings. Now, if you click on the NIC, you go to that other one more step into configuring your IPs and your DNS. But right here, this is where we want to see the rules. And as you can see, I don't have an inbound rule. They're all grayed out. So let's add a rule for RDP. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to connect. And let's do a test. So I know this is my IP, and this is the port that normally I would set to by default. I'm not going to put 8080, but by default RDP, and let's see what it replies with. This is just a quick simple test. You can run it on your home. Remember, this IP is in the public, so you open up PowerShell on your home computer, and then you run the test, and let's see what it failed. So we want to, if we don't get it true, we're not going to be able to connect. So let's get this rule going. So let's create a new rule, inbound, of course. Okay, this is another quick tutorial that I went through. Another really quick lesson to learn here. So I'm gonna name it JC Nick. No, JC. We just put JC Labs like another JC Lab rules. RDP rule. RDP. JC Lab JC RDP rule. You got to be very specific because by the next team member, the next admin needs to know. Okay, what was this rule for? JC RDP rule, and then you can write your description. So here's something that I'm gonna let you guys know right away, and it's very important for security purposes. So now we're jumping into security. Remember, you're an admin. We did a little bit of networking. Now the secure part, look at this already. Look, see how Azure already gave you an exclamation point? But let's test it. Let's just test it for fun here. Let's test it. Let's run that. No, let's run that command again. That's the IP because let's get out of the in the meantime, and we can multitask here. Let it reply. Look, false. Okay. 172.179.134, blah 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 blah. False. Okay. Oh, did I do a wrong test? See, this is 172.179.234.77. Let's test this. Come on, give us a correct one. Maybe I went too early up here. Because it was doing the change, it was creating the port. True, there we go, look at that. True, this is what you want to see, right? So let's go back into the rule. I can connect if I want now, but let's connect just to see that now we're getting a connection. But we're gonna go back to that rule because we don't want it like that, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, let's open this again. Everything is active. I should get the prompt right there. There we go. I can log in. Right? It's a good sign. I don't want to log in. I already know I can log in, but I don't want to log in because I'm going to fix that rule. Very important. Very important that you guys follow through because remember we got those dangerous actors that try to do that brute force, the password hackers, the ransomware hackers, the vulnerabilities, so we gotta think like the blue team. So let's go back into that rule. Networking settings. Remember, you go here and then you're gonna go to your NIC settings. You don't want to do that. So let's go back into this rule. So any kind of dangerous, right? So let's get, and then your priority. The priority is just like the firewalls. The rule of thumb here is the lower, the higher protection, right? Or is it the lower the number, the higher the priority? That's what it is. The lower the number, the higher priority. So it's already as low as we can. So, but we're still doing something wrong here. So let's go back and edit this rule. So in the Azure world, your source can be changed to my IP. That kind of gives it another layer of protection to the outside world. And even though I can still get a good connection. So let's go ahead and save that rule. Let's go back into RDP let's go back into here. Let's do another test, same IP. We just create that rule with now like no more exclamation points. So now it's kind of now Azure is telling you it's safe. Okay, true. So now it's safe to surf and this is a home lab. Okay, now if you were in production, you'll never leave it as any because then you wanna that did that change? I don't see it. It shouldn't say any, but it did disappear. Okay, let me just go back to confirm. Yeah, okay, it's using my IP as a source. Maybe I need to refresh my window here. But that is exactly how you're going to troubleshoot networking issues logging into your VM from your home lab, work lab, however you connect. Hopefully this video helps you because it helps me keeping them documented and archived. Have a good afternoon.